Hello, YouTube people! Hello! I've been gone for a while, unless this is the first time you've seen my video, and in that case, nice to meet you. But yes, hello again if you were watching my videos a while ago. I'm back, and I will be posting once a week from now on. So yes, your English is about to move up to the next level. And how will we be doing that? I will be teaching you vocabulary, words, and expressions, and my lessons are aimed at intermediate, high intermediate, and advanced English learners. Now, that being said, I want to make it clear that you do not need to watch any TV shows or movies in order to learn these words and expressions, okay? However, if you would like to review the words and expressions in a fun way, you can then watch the TV episode or movie that I have gotten these expressions from. So what I do is I watch a TV episode and I pay careful attention to the most versatile, useful vocabulary words and expressions that I think people at a high intermediate level to advanced level would need to better understand. So I give you examples so you have a better idea of how you could actually use this and what context it might be used in. So is it something you would use at work? Is it something you would only say around your friends? Maybe it's both. All right, so today's lesson is vocabulary that I've gotten from Season 1, Episode 1 of Westworld. Westworld! So if you've not seen Westworld, you might want to watch Season 1, Episode 1 after learning these expressions to review them. And if you have seen Westworld, then you probably know that Season 2 is coming out next week. So you might want to watch some of Season 1 again. So you see, you're really just doing homework. You're not just sitting on your ass watching TV. Me too, right? I'm just creating lessons. I'm not just watching TV. All right, without further ado, our first expression is found at 7 minutes into the episode, and that is "don't mind me." All right, what does it mean? It means just ignore me. Pretend I'm not here. And we usually use this in kind of an awkward social situation where you accidentally intrude on someone's conversation or somebody's private moment and suddenly you're in their space and you kind of wish you weren't. And it's kind of like a way to make the situation feel a bit lighter or joke about it. Don't mind me. So maybe your roommates are in the kitchen and they're having a big fight. They're arguing about something. Someone left nasty hair in the bathtub. And they're really getting into the fight. And you suddenly walk into the kitchen and you are on your way to make a cup of tea and you say, "Don't mind me, I'm just making a cup of tea." Okay, so it's kind of acknowledging that it's awkward that I'm here and let's just pretend I'm not. Ha. All right, so next one at 9 minutes and 30 seconds is "stay put." And "stay put" literally just means don't go anywhere. It definitely has a friendly, informal feeling to it. Maybe I'm having coffee with a group of friends and some of them say, "Hey, why don't we go for a walk?" And I say, "You know what? I really don't want to go out in the rain. I think I'll just stay put." Okay, so I'm just going to stay here in the cafe. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to stay put. You know, I mean, the American or Canadian work environment often has a friendly or casual feel to it. So you could use it there, you know, if you're in a situation where maybe you're doing a presentation and you have a problem with the projector and you have to go find Mike, the technician, to help you. You might say, "Okay, sorry, everyone, just stay put. I'm going to get Mike and I'll be right back and we'll get this fixed in a minute." Now we're going all the way to 33 minutes into the episode and we have the expression "to wait up for someone." This is another really specific phrasal verb. It just means that you don't go to sleep at night until somebody comes home. Yes, we have a specific phrase that means that. So obviously this would be used in informal situations. So it's common that when teenagers go out to a party, their parents wait up for them. You know, they're nervous, they're concerned about their kids getting home safe, and they cannot or don't want to go to sleep until the kids come back home. So they wait up for them. Maybe if my husband is out for the evening and there's something that makes me really angry that he's done, and I'm sitting there thinking about it and getting angrier and angrier, and I'm going to wait up for him, and I'm going to tell him about it when he gets home. Okay, so obviously you could be waiting up for a negative reason to fight with someone or tell someone why you're upset. Or maybe he's just been away on a business trip for a couple of weeks and I want to wait up for him because I miss him. And when he gets home, I say, I waited up for you. All right, so yeah, you can use that. I don't know, I mean, you pretty much have to be living with people to use this. So you can use it with your roommates or your parents or your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. The next one is at 34 minutes. And this is really kind of tricky to explain, and it's to come across as something or someone. And what it means is how your audience perceives you or how your audience understands your intentions, how they understand your words or your actions. And it might be accurate and it might be inaccurate. That's confusing, right? All right, so examples. When you go into a job interview, you want to come across as confident. Okay, so maybe you are confident, and maybe you walk into that job interview and you stand up straight and you tell them what you know, and you seem like you want the job, but you're not desperate, and you come across as a confident candidate for the job. Or maybe you do know a lot about the job, but you just get really nervous in job interviews. So you walk in there and you kind of stand like this, and you forget everything you wanted to say, and you come across as someone who is anxious, someone who's maybe not prepared for the job. All right, so you could come across as either one, and it wouldn't necessarily be the truth about whether you are or are not confident about the job. You could also use come across as with a noun. So that guy at the party got really drunk and he just came across as an idiot. Maybe he's not an idiot. Maybe he's actually a good guy and a smart guy and a well-behaved guy. But I don't know. I don't know him. I just saw him that one time at the party and he just came across as a total loser. Yeah, so the way I perceived him or understood his actions. 35 minutes to go over the deep end. It just means to go crazy, to go insane, to lose your marbles, to go nuts. Why do we have so many expressions for going crazy? So yeah, I mean, of course, you would usually use this in informal situations, talking to your friends. You could be talking to your friends at work, quietly, you know, I think our boss is going over the deep end, right? He's crazy. I don't know why he's telling us to do this. Or I haven't slept all week and I think I'm starting to go over the deep end. Not sleeping is making me crazy. I'm losing my mind. I'm going insane. All right, so yeah, I like that one. It has a nice creative feel to it, to go over the deep end. So give it a try instead of just saying going crazy or going nuts or going insane. I think our roommate is going over the deep end. And the last one at 37 minutes is to pick up the slack. So what is the slack? Literally, slack would be, I think the metaphor probably comes from something like a sailboat where you have many people holding a rope and many people are pulling the rope and the rope is very tight. And if one person drops the rope, then the rope goes slack where that person was. So the other people holding onto the rope need to pick up the slack. They need to work extra hard in order to compensate for the missing person or the person who's not doing their job or not performing as they should be. Definitely this is formal. It is something that you would use in the workplace. So maybe one of your coworkers is going on vacation, and while he's gone, you will be assigned to pick up the slack. Okay, so you will be doing your job and his job as well, or at least the essential parts of his job. Or maybe one of the people on our team is just not very good at his job, and we all know that, and we know that he's not going to do very well in the presentation, so we're going to have to pick up the slack. Even though he's there, he's not doing his share of the work. Okay, so that's all for this week. I will see you next week, and it should be with Season 2 Westworld vocabulary, because Season 2 is coming up